Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. My name is Vasily Rakhovi. I am the hand transplant patient from Innsbruck, Austria, and the founder of The Voice of ECR Patients. Welcome to the interview. This time we have a very special guest from Mexico, Mr. Gabriel Granados, the first double hand transplant patient in Latin America. While supervising construction works, Mr. Granados received a high voltage shock leading to the amputation of his both arms in 2011. Only a year later, in 2012, Mr. Granados made a medical history by becoming the first person in Latin America to undergo the successful double hand transplantation at the National Institute of Medical Science in Mexico City. Hi, Gabriel. Nice to see you.
Les deseo mucho gusto conocerlo.
Ajá. No, pues el gusto es mío y la verdad ya tenía mucho interés en conocerlo y mis respetos para usted y aquí estamos, ¿eh?
Mr. Gabriel says he's really glad to meet you and he's really excited for this session.
Thank you, Gabriel. I should tell our viewers that Dr. Lieber helps us with the translation today. Thank you, thank you very much, Dr. Lieber. Gabriel, according to our tradition, could you tell us a little bit about your life before the accident and about that black day in your life in 2011?
Le gustaría que le platicara un poquito de su vida antes del accidente.
Sí, yo me desempeñaba como perito en la Procuraduría de aquí, que hoy es una fiscalía de la Ciudad de México, como perito en materia contable. Veía todo lo relativo a los fraudes y demás, delitos, porque era área penal.
Mr. Gabriel says he worked as an accountant before the accident in a government office and before the accident, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how did it happen to him? How he lost his hands? Could you tell us about that, please, too?
Si puede compartirnos un poquito acerca de cómo perdió sus brazos.
Bueno, desgraciadamente fue mediante una descarga eléctrica, estando en la casa, dando instrucciones a unos maestros albañiles que me iban a realizar una obra pequeña y traía un pedazo de varilla en la mano y me hizo el arco cónico y me agarró, entró por una mano y salió por la otra.
Mr. Gabriel says he was making a construction in his house. He was constructing higher level on the top of his house. He was carrying a metallic object, and he had this accident with the electrical cable of the streets, and that's how the electricity entered on one hand and left out on the other hand. Involving a third-grade degree burn.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Gabriel, and there was a relatively short time between this accident and the surgery. How did it all happen so fast? As I understand, you couldn't accept the loss of your hands. Who was the first person who told you about that hand transplantation might be possible in your case?
Dice que quién le comentó cuál pudiera ser
la opción.
¿Quién le comentó por primera vez sobre la opción de un trasplante de brazo?
Ajá. En este caso fue mi esposa, ella fue la que me lo comentó. Yo le dije que no, que en México todavía no teníamos el trasplante de extremidades superiores y ella me dijo, sí, sí lo hay y ya nos está esperando el doctor Martín Iglesias en nutrición.
Mr. Gabriel says the first person communicating about the option of an arm transplantation was his wife, Selena. She told him, "Hey, we have this new program about arm transplantation," and Mr. Gabriel said, "No, I don't think it's possible. We're not ready here in Mexico. We don't have that technology and that advancements in medicine." And she said, "No, it's possible. It's actually possible thanks to Dr. Iglesias. in the National Institute, and that's how he reached this opportunity.
And how did Miss Signora Selena learned about that opportunity?
Yeah, I will ask her. Le pregunta que cómo se enteró usted acerca de los trasplantes de brazo.
Estimado Vasily, al final de cuentas fue toda una aventura. Nunca te imaginas que ya tienes tu vida realizada y que te pueda suceder un accidente de esta magnitud. Uno como familiar, uno como esposa, alguien a quien ama a su esposo, pues hace lo imposible por encontrar una mejor calidad de vida. Afortunadamente, en su trabajo, él laboraba en la Procuraduría General de Justicia, tuvo todo el apoyo de sus autoridades, dieron indicaciones que era todo el apoyo para el perito. Posteriormente, una compañera de trabajo de Gabriel, ella movió también igual de alguna manera, tuvo el conocimiento de que existía un protocolo de trasplante de brazos y a través de una tía de ella que trabajaba en este instituto de nutrición, fue que nos pudimos acercar al doctor Martín Iglesias, pero fue a través de una compañera de trabajo.
So, Mrs. Selena says, what? Mrs. Selena says, Mrs. Selena says that she was very concerned about the accident involving the loss of the arms in her husband. So she wanted to search for different options for him. She made a relentless search for solutions, and that's how she reached a work companion. She told her that Dr. Iglesias was doing arm transplantations in the National Institute, and that's how she met Dr. Iglesias, and that the government had a lot of support for Gabriel in order to have this transplantation, and that's how she got to know about this opportunity.
Okay, yeah, very interesting. Gabriel, they say that age plays a very significant role about decision making, yeah, in the case of the hand transplantation. So to say, it is easier to accept the loss if you are not young. Excuse me, please, for this question. You were neither a boy nor a young man when you took this decision to undergo hand transplantation. Yeah, why? What was your motivation? What was your driving force? And as you know, there are other opportunities, so to say, as we know, there are processes. They are much safer. You don't need to take immunosuppression. And why did you decide to undergo the hand transplantation?
Vasily comenta que el trasplante de brazo es algo muy complejo y que quiere saber él, por qué se decidió por un trasplante de brazo cuando tenemos otras opciones como una prótesis, por ejemplo. ¿Qué fue lo que lo animó? ¿Cuál fue su motivación para tener un trasplante de brazo?
Ajá, pues más que nada fue el hecho de que yo quería ser independiente, no pues no depender totalmente de mi familia, porque pues, es estar molestando, estarles quitando pues, sus actividades y demás. Y además, en un principio yo sí tuve prótesis. Afortunadamente nunca las utilicé porque el trasplante llegó pronto y desde un principio, en cuanto yo me enteré que había el trasplante, yo me decidí. Tuvimos por ahí una cuestión en que por los riesgos mi esposa me comentaba que mejor no, mejor no, mejor no, pero yo finalmente yo les pedí el apoyo, que yo estaba decidido a hacerme esa cirugía y lo que pasara pues, era ya decisión mía.
So Mr. Gabriel says that his pathway to transplantation was not straightforward. It was a process in which his wife was very concerned about the side effects of immunosuppression. And they were really concerned. But at the end, Mr. Gabriel took the decision to undergo this procedure of arm transplantation because he wanted to be independent and he didn't want to become a burden for his family. So he was not convinced about a prosthesis as a solution because it is not an efficient solution for his life. So he decided over his body and his life, and he decided that he wanted to take the risks of immunosuppression and long-term implications after arm transplantation to have his new arms. But it was the motivation was his family and
Mhm.
his independence.
Understand. Yeah, we have started talking about immunosuppression, the side effects of immunosuppression therapy. Uh, it is a very serious question, and I would like to ask Gabriel, how does it look like with the payment for immunosuppression therapy in your country? Is it covered by a public insurance or a private one, or should patients care about these pills themselves, about this therapy themselves? Could he share with us his experience on this matter?
Sí, mira, sí, a mí afortunadamente tengo aquí lo que es una seguridad social, que es el ISSSTE, y él es el que me cubre ese medicamento, los inmunosupresores, porque la verdad, pues son muy caros. Aquí andan alrededor del tacrolimus entre 2.200 y el sirolimus anda entre 8.000 y 11.000 pesos, dependiendo el laboratorio del que se adquieran. La verdad soy afortunado en que de alguna manera a mí el ISSSTE me lo cubre y no tengo que erogar ese gasto.
So Mr. Gabriel says that here in Mexico we have public health services, and he has social security by his government job, so he doesn't have to pay for tacrolimus and sirolimus because otherwise he would have to pay for tacrolimus around $200 every month, and he would have to pay for sirolimus around $400 every month. So he's really glad to have this support from the government and the public health of Mexico. So he doesn't have to pay because he gets his medications from the government.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Gabriel, there is a very special story related to your hand donor. I wouldn't like to speculate on this matter. Could you tell us about that? Did you know your hand donor, or it is only, so to say, it is, this only rumors about that?
Basili dice que la historia de la persona que le donó los brazos es muy conmovedora. Él pregunta si usted conoció en algún momento o llegó a saber detalles acerca de la persona que le donó los brazos, que le parece una historia conmovedora.
No, no, la verdad no tuve la oportunidad de conocerlo porque aquí las instituciones no lo permiten. Mas, sin embargo, yo tuve por ahí una comunicación con su mamá, a través de otra tercera persona, y la verdad, los comentarios que nos hacíamos, me decía el chico que cuando ella le comentaba lo que yo le decía, que él vivía conmigo y que estaba conmigo, su mamá se soltaba a llorar. Entonces yo decidí, le digo a este chico, ¿sabes qué? Mejor ya no. De hoy en adelante, si te pregunta la señora si me viste, dile que no, porque le estamos causando un daño.
So Mr. Gabriel says that he didn't initially get to know his donor because it's not allowed by the Mexican health laws. But after his transplantation, he got to meet the family of the donor, and it was a very emotional experience in which he saw his family, the family of the donor. He saw that family suffer when he talked about his experience because maybe they were not ready in this loss process, in this emotional loss process. So he lost contact recently in order to give them a little bit of space to get recovered.
Bueno, nomás agregando que por comentarios de la mamá, sabía yo que él decía que él iba a hacer algo grande en la vida y lo hizo al donarnos creo que a 5 o 7 personas nos donó sus órganos y la verdad, pues hizo algo grande que él decía, yo voy a hacer algo grande en la vida y lo hizo.
So, Mr. Gabriel, Gabriel wants to add that this donor told to his mom, "Mom, I'm going to make something great in life. I don't know what thing it is, but I'm going to make something really big in my life." And Mr. Gabriel considers him a hero because he donated his body, and thanks to his generosity, he has his arms, his new arms, and other 7 people they were benefited from solid organ transplantation, and that's why he considers his donor a hero. So,
We were talking about the recovery, yeah, after the
let me refresh it for Mr. Gabriel.
yes.
Entonces, ¿quiere saber cómo fue
El proceso de rehabilitación.
rehabilitación? Sí.
Sí, pues, bueno, afortunadamente se esperaba un tiempo posterior al cuando yo empecé a mover los dedos. La rehabilitación, pues sí fue pesada porque yo iba en la mañana y en la tarde a la rehabilitación. Fue como 1 año y medio, pero la ventaja fue en que en un corto tiempo empecé yo a mover un dedo, luego otro dedo, y inclusive el doctor se sorprendió porque él esperaba que no fuera tan pronto este movimiento, pero así lo fue.
Mr. Gabriel wants to say that the recovery process was actually very drastic at the first moments, but then it became really bearable and really progressive, and that right now he can do any activity of his normal life from before the accident. He can eat with the forks. He can do things with his hands without any problem, and he's really happy with it.
What were the first things that he was able to do? Maybe Gabriel remembers. What were the first things he were able to do after the surgery?
Pregunta algunas cosas que usted no pueda hacer después del accidente, porque nos platicó
Sí,
que recuerde cosas que a lo mejor se le dificultan en este momento.
sí, ahorita pues básicamente son el ponerme botones, que yo lo hago otra vez. Tengo un aparatito
Sí,
que salió.
creo que sí.
Conecté. No, yo no vi nada.
¿Qué pasó aquí?
No vi nada. No, ya sí estamos en aquella, ¿no? No moví nada.
No se preocupe.
Ahí,
Ahí está.
ajá.
Ahí está. No sé qué pasó. Sorry, we have a little bit of technical difficulty. So, Mr. Gabriel says that there's something that's more difficult actually for him to do after the accident and after the arm transplantation, and which is putting on his shirts, because it's hard
To button.
yeah, it's hard to make the buttons, and to tie his laces, the
Yeah.
shoelaces. It's harder for him right now. He does this by special devices that he bought to have his normal life. Otherwise, there's nothing he remembers else.
Y a lo mejor un poco cortar la carne.
Oh, and he also has a little bit of problem cutting up raw meat with a knife. That will also be difficult for him.
To hold the knife, yes. Yeah, I have the same problems.
Dice que los mismos problemas.
Sí.
Gabriel, we have 2 questions. Could you tell us about the level of awareness about the external organ transplantation in your country. Share your experience with us. How did society react on your surgery? Was it seen like a expensive whim, like a caprice, or as a medical need, a medical necessity for people who couldn't accept their damaged appearance? Did you have support from your friends, from your colleagues in your decision about your decision, or how was it?
Le pregunta su opinión
Ajá.
acerca de qué tan concientizado está México acerca de los trasplantes, específicamente el trasplante de brazo. Él quiere saber cómo lo ve la sociedad, si lo ve como un capricho o como una necesidad médica, y quiere saber también si su familia, si sus amigos lo apoyaron en su decisión o si a lo mejor no lo apoyaron.
Sí, no, para empezar, desgraciadamente en México sí, hay un desconocimiento total de que, pues ahí se puede ya hacer esta cirugía pero desgraciadamente el Estado no apoya, no quiere gastar en los trasplantes y ese es uno de los motivos porque aunque uno anda promoviendo la donación, los trasplantes, no hay una institución que tengamos como tal que realice los trasplantes. La otra, con respecto a mi familia, sí, yo tuve el apoyo total de mi familia, tanto de mi esposa, mis hijos, de un lado mis cuñados, de otro lado mis hermanos. De alguna manera todos pusieron un grano de arena para darme el apoyo y salir de todo esto y la verdad se los agradezco. Y además, bueno, tuve todo el apoyo del doctor Iglesias y del equipo. Ellos finalmente fueron la más motivación que tuve porque ellos entrevistaba con ellos y vas bien, Gabriel, y todo, y eso me iba a mí, pues cada día yo he decidido hacerme este trasplante.
So Mr. Gabriel says that in terms of awareness in Mexico, there's no awareness, and that was really hard because there's a society without education about transplantation in general, and even less if we talk about arm transplantation. Um, the government is helpful and supporting in terms of medications, but they are not interested, and they are not interested in investing money in arm transplantation because to their opinion it's an unnecessary solution. In order for him to achieve this arm transplantation, he had to do a lot of advocacy and to do a social fight to have this procedure. And what made him what made this possible was Dr. Iglesias and his team, because he got a lot of support from his team, and also he wants to thank his family. Every member of his family put a little bit of support to him, and a little bit of support became a lot of support, and also his friends gave him a lot of support. So he's really happy at the end of the day.
Mhm. And Mr. Gabriel, I would like to ask you one more question. And in your opinion, what should a candidate for the hand transplantation definitely understand, be aware of, to make the right decision, to avoid disappointment after the surgery? What would you, so to say, recommend? Yeah, what would you advise to the candidates for the hand transplantation to avoid the disappointment and failure after the surgery?
Mi opinión.
Quiere su opinión, quiere saber qué debería saber un candidato a trasplante de brazos, qué es lo que debería saber para tomar la decisión correcta, para que no se decepcione por un lado y por otro lado para que sepa qué es lo que viene. ¿qué podría aconsejarle usted a un candidato a trasplante de brazo?
Ujú. Sí, más que nada, ya ahora, ahora en día, como ya me voy dando cuenta de las situaciones, más que nada que sí esté bien informado de todos los riesgos que va a implicar esta cirugía, porque a veces estamos emocionados con que ya vamos a tener brazos y nunca nos informamos de los riesgos que hay. A mí en último momento se me informaron, por eso era el motivo de que ya no queremos ir, pero yo creo que es necesario que se nos informe bien los riesgos que hay, lo que viene después, que viene una inmunosupresión que es ya de por vida y que igual, de igual manera va a haber rechazos porque pues, el cuerpo va a estar peleando y va a haber rechazos. Yo he tenido rechazos, entonces toda esa situación yo creo que es conveniente que la sepa la persona que se va a trasplantar para que tome su decisión real.
So, Mr. Gabriel says that in order for an arms transplantation candidate to take the right decision and stay away from potential harmful outcomes such as disappointment and lack of certainty about the future is getting to know all the um, all the details regarding the process of arm transplantation. And that when you become a person receiving an arm transplant, you have to take immunosuppression, and that immunosuppression has secondary effects, adverse effects, and chronic considerations. And you have to know all this information to take the right decision for your life. And also that you have to have the right expectations concerning the functionality, that maybe functionality won't be at the same as before the accident, because even if it's a very complex surgery, every result is different from person to person, and that you have to have a lot of communication with the team that is going to be on charge of your transplantation, so you have every question answered, and basically that will be it. And that you have to stick to rehabilitation programs to have the best functionality for your life.
Yeah, thank you, Gabriel. Last question to Mrs. Selena. May I ask you one more question?
Pregunta para usted. Yes.
Miss Selena, I would like to ask you, as a wife of a hand transplant patient, do the family members need more learning materials, in your opinion? How to live after the hand transplantation with your husband, with other family members? Maybe we need more information not only for patients, but also for their family members.
Pregunta Basili que cómo ha sido la experiencia de usted como esposa de Gabriel, cómo es tener un familiar que tiene un trasplante de brazo, en general cómo ha sido esa experiencia y qué cree usted que necesitan los familiares de alguien que se va a trasplantar brazos.
Perfecto. Primeramente, sí es difícil, como lo comenté, porque pues tienes toda una vida relativa de normalidad. Te cambia la vida exactamente de un momento a otro, porque pues sufre un accidente y pues entras en un estado de negación al saber que ya no tiene brazos en cuanto te dan la noticia. Es difícil para un familiar, muy difícil, ¿no? Sobre todo que él es el pater familia, ¿no? Al final de cuentas, es el que lleva el hogar, y pues sí es muy difícil. Yo creo que es respetar su decisión. Al final de cuentas, sí me costó trabajo a mí aceptar el trasplante. ¿Por qué? Por los riesgos. Yo le comenté a él, mira, ¿sabes qué? Después de que nos pitaron un panorama pues difícil, al final de cuentas él, en el peor de los casos, pudo haberse quedado en la plancha por la dificultad de la operación, del trasplante. Sin embargo, sí le dije yo a él, ¿sabes qué? Te prefiero vivo, sin brazos, a que te me vayas a ir, ¿no? Aquí, pues, Él afortunadamente nos hizo entrar en razón. Él nos dijo, denme la oportunidad, yo asumo el riesgo. Si pase lo que tenga que pasar en el quirófano, no se queden con esa preocupación, ni con ese dolor, ni con esa culpa, porque fue mi decisión. Denme la oportunidad. Decía él, denme la oportunidad porque si no me va a sentir fracasado al no haberlo intentado y al haberme quedado con el que si lo hubiera yo hecho, o sea, iba a estar toda la vida pensando en eso. Entonces, platicamos los hijos, mis dos hijos, Gabriel y Selene, mi esposo, y pues lo apoyamos, le dejamos todo en manos de Dios, fue su decisión. Posterior al trasplante, pues todo ha sido relativamente fácil. Él es una persona muy fuerte, él es un valiente, es un guerrero. Afrontó la vida, afrontó las consecuencias y a nosotros no nos resta nada más que apoyarlo. A mí, en lo personal, me facilitó la vida. Para mí ahorita ya mi vida es más fácil, ¿no? A diferencia de pues tenerlo que ayudar en todo sin brazos en todo. Entonces, pues yo era su extensión, mi hijo era su extensión, mi hija era su extensión, sus hermanos, la familia que de alguna manera apoyaban para, pues tal vez darle un vaso de agua o tal vez, acompañarlo al sanitario, cosas así. Pero yo creo que nos facilitó mucho la vida, yo estoy feliz. Hemos conocido gente muy buena, siempre, nunca hemos tenido ningún problema. Aquí está el doctor Liber apoyándonos. La verdad le agradezco, así como él, han pasado muchos chicos y han aprendido también y lo han ayudado a Gabriel.
Yeah, so Mrs. Selena says that, of course, there's a lot of implications before and after the accident. That life was really good before the accident, and after the accident, she faced a lot of difficulties because now that Gabriel lost his arms, he will need a lot of help. He will need assistance for everyday activities such as eating, going to the bathroom, taking baths, going to work, and things, etc., etc. So she had to be helping him 24/7, and it was a little bit of a tiring activity at the moment. So after transplantation, life became easier. She's really glad that she had a lot of support from Dr. Iglesias' team and from his family, from her family, because it's really difficult for a man to lose his arms. In case of Mr. Gabriel, he's the head of his family, so losing his arm involved a lot of social and biological and emotional pain. And after the transplantation, life has been better, and after we did the rehabilitation processes, and after some implications concerning immunosuppression, such as chronic rejection, acute rejection events, and after overcoming all of these difficulties, she at the end of the day, she's really happy with the results. She says that when they were taking the decision about a transplant or not to transplant, she was really concerned about his husband to die in the OR or dying in the recovery process. But at the end, she respected the decision of his husband, and she supported and celebrated the decision, the final decision of his husband to take the risks and to go for transplantation. And that she is happy at the end of the day, and they are really grateful with the team and grateful with their families because of the support that they have been.
Yes, thank you. So to say, can we resume that the learning materials would be helpful for the family of the hand transplantation patient? Can we say so? Can I? Or
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, dear friends, amigo. I wish you a nice day, and I hope we stay in touch. Thank you very much for supporting our patient initiative with this talk. Dr. Lieber, thank you very much for the help with the translation, and have a nice day.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Please receive a really warm hug from Mexico, from Mr. Gabriel, from Mrs. Solina, Dr. Iglesias, from Dr. Patty, and from me. And yeah, let's stay tuned. And if there's anything I can help you with, we are actually friends on Facebook, and you can also write emails and messages, and yeah, anything you need, we will be glad to stay tuned.
Yes, thank you very much. And I would like to tell that this video will be published on the 1st of the September, and I will let Mr. Gabriel know in advance, and I will send him separately this rolic, and it will be published on Facebook, on LinkedIn, Facebook, and other social network of our patient organization. I will send him in advance the video at the end of August.
Que quiere publicar
And of course, he also can publish on his social networks this video.
se lo va a mandar antes para que lo vea y le dé un visto bueno.
Sí. Ok, dile que muchas gracias y que un gusto conocerlo y la verdad, un abrazo también desde acá para usted y su familia y vamos adelante, seguimos echándole ganas.
Que también conocemos su historia, que también es un
También,
guerrero.
también ya sabemos parte de su historia y la verdad es un guerrero. Y vamos, me da gusto conocerlo y vamos, usted también es un guerrero.
So Mr. Gabriel says, yeah, let's go with it. He wants to send you a warm hug also, and he wants to tell you that he also knows about your story, and you are also a warrior, and you are very brave, and he's really glad to meet you today.
Thank you.